So I'm driving back from a gig last night. I had a gig in upstate New York, about 4 hours away from my house, and stayed over last night. It was really fun with my cover band. And, one of the things that's happening recently is sort of a reevaluation of things that are musically fulfilling, say. And one of the things that has got me thinking is that I have a baby now who's an infant, who's 10 months old, and trying to spend time with her and be a husband and also do the gigs that bring income in, and teach and do lectures and do theater gigs and do my original projects like Mile Marker Zero, Zero Sync, and coming to the realization that I feel like I keep coming back to is that some things have to take a back burner, which is a hard decision as a musician because you work in spats. You work in little bursts when they come. Typically sometimes the burn is really long, or if you're really hot. I have some friends who are doing really well right now with great gigs and things like that, and maybe the burst is a couple years or maybe more. But for sort of the day-to-day working musician, is you kind of say yes to almost everything if you can, and then when other opportunities present themselves, you say yes to those, and then you say yes to at least in my case, all these other things, and on one hand you feel, or I should say I feel really lucky that I have all these different opportunities and things, and I'm making my living as a musician full time between teaching and gigging and all that stuff. It's pretty lecturing and all those things. It's pretty amazing. But also, there's a lot of things that you have to, do, a lot of plates to juggle, and lately, I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that I just can't do it all. I just can't. Literally, I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I could ignore. So one of the options is you could ignore your family and do what you want to career-wise, but that's a terrible long-term strategy. And also, I like my family. I love my family. I love my little daughter. I love my wife. I love my dog. I love and I want to spend time with them as much as possible. But there's all these things that are tugging. So many musicians in the past have made the decision where, well, they're just going to go about and do their thing in their career, and then everything, when they get a chance to do it, they'll hang around at home. That's not for me. I won't do that. I don't think that is a smart way to live. It's not a way I want to live. My family is a priority to me, but at the same time, I have all these competing career opportunities coming up, and I want to do them too. And the question is, well, how do you decide? If I was a more practical, money-driven, economic person, I might say, well, only the things that make me the most money am I going to do. And that makes sense for many industries, but I don't know if that makes sense as a creative so much. I think that has to be a factor. Part of the reason why I did like the gig last night up in far upstate New York is because it paid really well, and it's playing with a great group of guys. So that's a decision that I made. But at the same time, if that was the only thing I did, then I'd pretty much only be playing weddings and party gigs if it was purely monetary. I probably wouldn't do any of the theater that I like doing. I definitely wouldn't be doing my original bands that don't really make that much money, or all the money we make ends up going back into the next record, or things like that. And I know for a fact that I wouldn't be fulfilled doing that. So figuring out the balance, or I should say the imbalance, it's tough. It's a very difficult thing. I don't really know if there's a formula for it. I've been back in last year when I was doing, and early this year when I was doing my podcast, Modern Day Musician, which I've had to put a pause on for a little while, but hopefully I'm going to start it again soon. I'm trying to find out how other people deal with these things, and see if I can find some sort of formula for figuring this stuff out. And it turns out it's pretty highly individual, and it depends on everybody's sort of unique situation. How badly do you need to make the money? Like, if I had no gigs coming in, say, and paying the rent is very, top of mind, then I would probably have to focus on being a musician that only plays the private parties and stuff like that, because I need the income. Luckily, I'm not in that position right now, especially between teaching and the lectures and all those other things. So I don't have to do that. So for me, when I'm faced with a lot of different choices, it's difficult. I don't really know what the thing is to cut. What is the thing to cut? What is the thing to keep? What is the thing to trim down? Some of it's been forced on me, I would say. Some of it has been, I've had to cut some of my lectures down due to my teaching schedule. Things have gotten really busy, so I'm not going to be able to go to these assisted living facilities and do the lectures on the pace that I was doing them before. So that is being forced just literally because I have other teaching opportunities. But if I really am honest with myself, I should probably cut more, because it doesn't, even if I'm able to sort of juggle many of these things somewhat well, I'm not juggling it at 100% capacity, where I'm also getting rest. I'm also able to be there 100% fully for my family when I'm home. I'm sure everybody has issues like this. So my question is, what do you do when this kind of thing comes up? What is your solution? How do you deal with these things when they come up? Is there a formula you have? Do you list, for instance, your priorities? Do you say, okay, top 5 priorities, number 1 is going to be this, number 2 is going to be this, and then you sort of make your decisions in rank order? Do you do it just from a more emotional place? Like, I do want to do this, I don't want to do this, okay, I'm not doing it. Or I do want to do this even though it doesn't pay anything. Great, I'm going to take this gig. How do you do it? Please let me know.